Jordan Bonilla drops into episode 115. Think Chic-Fil-A runs, mutant turtles, and time-traveling mishaps. Jordan spills the wildest behind-the-scenes stories. From Office Energy Willy Wonka vibes to Back to the Future flashbacks. We roast funny parenting mistakes, reenact TMNT moves, and, yes, there's a yellow dress suit you won't forget. Hit play, laugh loud, and stick around. This one's pure nostalgia meets absurdity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Around the Ballpark podcast. My name is Mike Redmond. You are watching episode number 115. So glad you could join us on your Sunday evening, 8 o'clock, as per usual. And as always, my brother, my other half, Darren Redmond, is here with me. Yes, that's you. Love the new the house behind you. The piano looks fantastic. So glad to have you on. And our very special guest tonight, who we'll get to know in just a few moments, Jordan Bonilla, is here with us. Also goes by Jabo, so we'll get to know him. But Darren, as always, before we do anything, would you share a few words from our proud sponsors over at National Tax Solutions?
Hey, if you're dealing with tax issues, maybe you're behind on some filings or you got hit with a lien, it happens. Let me tell you about Nashville Tax Solutions. These folks, they know their stuff, and they actually care about helping you fix it. You know, I've heard from people right here in Palm Bay and Fort Pierce who said Chris Bennett and his team turned a financial nightmare into peace of mind. That's the kind of help you want on your side. So if tax stress is keeping you up, call 855-627-4829. Say it with me, folks, 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com. Nashville Tax Solutions, real people getting real results.
Yes, and so glad to be doing this evening. I just want to do it, Chad. Obviously, our show, first and foremost, while we do have specialty topics and things that come up, we are a sports podcast first and foremost. And unfortunate news today, I know Chris Bennett is a big Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, saw the untimely passing of Doug Martin, former running back for the Tampa Bay Bucks, passed away at the age of 36 today. Not sure the details, but way, way, way too young. So just condolences to the family and whatnot for that. But thank you guys for joining us. We see you here, Tevin. We see Sports Fan. You're always joining us. So good to see you as well. And I see over a dozen of you already online. So thank you. Let us know that you're here. Hit the subscribe button. Turn your notifications on so that way you know when we go live each and every time. And go ahead and smash that like button. But this evening, we have a very special guest, Jordan Bonilla. How are you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. And hopefully it's going to be a great time. Hopefully I entertain everyone. Do I have to give the caveat of, I know it's around the ballpark, but today's about randomness?
Yes.
Which is right up our alley.
Yes. So one thing that we share sometimes when we do episodes like this is on the way to the ballpark, on the way to the stadium, on the way to the field, there's a lot of different conversations going on in the car rides. We're not just talking about the game we're about to go see. So we love having these specialty episodes that sometimes they're minusculely related to sports. Sometimes they're not at all. And that's just the way we want it. We want around the ballpark to cover everything. And so by around the ballpark, on the way there, we can talk about whatever topic is relevant or from 20 years ago. It doesn't really matter. So that's why we love the name of this podcast, because it really opens up for all different sorts of discussion. So I promise no weird, strange sport questions coming your way.
You can ask them. I won't answer. No.
Yes. Jordan got disconnected. I don't know what happened.
Yes.
But Darren, before we jump in, do you want anything you want to share? How your week went by? Everything good on your end?
First thing I want to do is like I was outside and with my son, and last week was my birthday. I seem to have one of those like every year. But so I got a couple. We got some. Yeah, so we got some cigars. So we were smoking some cigars. So I was going to wear something tonight, kind of in a Halloween homage. But I'll do that next time we're together, probably next Sunday, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I was going to put on my Jet jersey because the Jets absolutely crushed the Carolina Panthers today. And I'm lying right now because we stink.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah.
Oh, I did. But see, here's the thing now, because this is typical Jet fashion. You ready, kids? Okay, we're 0-7. If we lose again, we're going to be 0-8 because that's called math. But here's the important thing. Ready? Knowing the Jets, like we'll get to like 0-13 and like win the last 4 games and get a crappy draft pick.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
Of course. So
they'll come back from that bye week where ready to go for it. Yep.
But your team played well. I was actually, I'm a Jet fan, but I was rooting for you because your team has a shot.
Yeah. 3 wins in a row. It doesn't matter who their opponent is. A win is a win. So I'm excited. Right. I don't think the Panthers have had a winning record since I think like 2011, 2012. So I will take it. So, so tonight we thought we'd do a little something different. We typically don't really have a script here on the show. We kind of just have fun and tell stories and share things and stories and all good stuff. So we thought we would bring one of our favorite, I get right at this point, it's a staple of the show every now and then. But we're going to bring a staple of the show on, and that is the special wheel that we love to share. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that bad boy right on there. And we're going to go ahead and spin that wheel. And whatever it lands on, we're going to take about 3 to 4 minutes and just have some fun conversation, and then we'll get to another item on that wheel. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to spin that wheel, and let's see what happens.
All right. Big money. Here we go.
No whammies.
No whammies.
I'll take an R.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. So this is one that was, I added a few myself. So men attending weddings. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this guy goes away for now. Okay, so men attending weddings. So obviously, I'll start this one since I threw it on there. So when you're going to a wedding as a man versus a woman, there's a lot less you got to do. So I recently went to a wedding where we had our own little, I was a groomsman. We had our own little area. They had Xbox, they had pool tables, all this stuff. In the women's dressing room, it was literally just mirrors and makeup. Like there was nothing to do. And so Eileen kept trying to find herself, trying to come over to where we were because there was nothing to do in that one. We had a great time and hung out and stuff like that. But as a man going to weddings, so easy, compared to what a woman has to go through from top to bottom. We just put clothes on, do our hair, look nice, we're good to go. But when we get to the reception, we all look nice and stuff. And then at some point, the wardrobe starts coming off, the jacket comes off, the shirt gets untucked, the tie's crooked, all sorts of stuff. So I want to ask you, Jordan, from your experience, do you echo that same where you show up this way and you don't look as dapper like an hour or two in?
Yeah, first of all, Tuesday will be my 25th anniversary. So, I was trying to remember. Yeah, I was trying to remember on our wedding day, but that was 25 years ago, and I can't remember how I got ready. I think it was real quick. I mean, because when you look this good, it just comes naturally.
Yeah. But don't miss a profession.
Yeah. But when you go to weddings, or when I go to weddings, I don't dress up that much. So I usually have a typical the same outfit, and I won't give a secret away because if I wear the same outfit, well, I'm going to tell you, it's a funny story. Because I don't dress up that much, I usually just put on this blue sweater, long sleeve sweater, white collar shirt, tie, right, and then dress pants. So it looks nice. But I have long arms, and the sleeves on the white shirt underneath kind of get tight. So I kind of did a what is it? The cable guy? Oh, what was the comedian back in the day?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey?
No. I mean, but the redneck comedian.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
I kind of do one of those where I took my white sleeve. My wife's probably gonna. But the white shirt, I cut the sleeves off. So if you ever see me with the blue shirt, blue sweater, white collar, just know it's a sleeveless white button-down shirt because the sleeves get tight underneath, and I don't like that. It's very restricting. But I get dressed really, really quick, and I don't know. It's just one of those things that are just guys. We start loosening the tie, like you said. I mean, we want to dance or we just want to relax, and I don't know why we do that.
And I think in Florida too, the shoes sometimes come off as well. I think we have it easy here compared. And Snoopy mentions he was like, I never like wearing the cummerbund. I wear one of those.
It's the worst.
Oh yeah, those are
Yeah, I got to ask the $1 million question before we move to the next topic, Darren. So I'm not going to disclose your age live here on the air, but full disclosure, I still struggle with tying a tie properly. When I say properly at all. So, Darren, are you a tie? Are you able to do so without any other assistance?
Oh, 100%. But I do, because I worked in the corporate world for forever, but just one knot. I learned one knot. That's later people, I'm going to go with the Windsor knot. I'm going to go with no, I know one knot. It's called actually the store manager knot. It's real quick. It looks good, done. And if it's a little too thin sometimes, you got to kind of widen it, but just one, that's it. And I'm done. I don't know anything else. And it's like, stop. It's like tying my shoe. I know one way to do it. I don't know if the rabbit's going in the hole, out the hole, not sure which way, but it's going to end up as a knot. But, if you know that I did the tie wrong when my face starts to get purple, like a little too tight, let's go.
Yeah. Now, what I do at least is because, tying tie is not my forte. So when I take the tie off, I make sure that I'll never have to retie that tie ever again. And I put it pristinely in the closet in the back corner. So 9 months from now, when I have to wear the thing, I just put it right over and it's good to go. If it's a color that's appropriate, obviously. But.
Yeah, I know how to tie a tie because working at Chick-Fil-A in the leadership back in the day, I mean, you had to wear the tie. So I learned how to tie it. But I found that they make these ties that have almost zippers. Like it's like a zipper. And they're great until they fail. Like a couple weeks ago, celebrating our 25th early, we went on a cruise and I brought a zipper tie for the dress up night and the zipper broke and I had no tie. And it was one of those, I'm like, well, blue sweater, white shirt, no tie.
Let's go.
Let's go.
But it is nice. I would say if you can't tie one, find one of those ties. It's just like a zipper.
And Rob Medina is here with us in the chat. Says Marine Corps teaches us to tie Phil Windsor knots you should have served.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, but it was
next time,
hard for me to, next time. It's seriously, I actually regret not serving. I really wish I did. He's absolutely right.
Regret. Yeah. So we're going to go to that wheel and we're going to spin it just one more time. There it is. It's back up on there. And here we go. Let's see what happens next here.
Are we naming it the Wheel of Randomness?
Yes. Wheel of Randomness.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. All right. I got stuff for this one.
Okay.
So I have 3 kids. Danny, who is my oldest, he's 23. Jesse's my middle, he's 19, and then my daughter's 13. But, my wife and I had Danny when we were 22, right? We were really young. We got married at 20 and had him at 22. So parenting mistakes were going to happen. But when Danny was around 8, we went to Disney. I mean, you go to Disney, and I'm not a big fan of Disney just because, it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth. But, you get there and everyone's happy. But by the time, you leave at the end of the day, everyone's dragging their kids and angry, right?
Yes, through the fireworks section. Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, let's go. So we did Animal Kingdom. We went on the safari ride. And my son Daniel has just been, just at a young age, he was just an engineering style brain. Like just didn't really play with toys, played with puzzles, things like that, new stuff. So we do the Animal Kingdom safari ride. And if you've ever been on it, I don't know if they do anymore. Back in the day, they used to pretend that you were looking for elephant poachers.
Yes.
So you're on the cart. It's like Simba 1, Simba 1. So we're going through it and having a good time. Great. And at the end, you see a little baby animatronic elephant in the back of the truck. And it's like, Simba 1, you got the poachers. You did it. And then he looks at me and he's like, Dad, we did it. And I'm like, really, Danny? You thought this was all real? And I just saw it, like the imagination just go like break.
Oh.
And I was like, what did I do? Because I thought he was like not smarter, but like I thought he was just like not, I thought he was playing with me, honestly. But I was like, no. So, we learn from mistakes. My second son, Jesse, when we went to Animal Kingdom or Disney, when he was older, I played it up. I was like, wow, look at that, just. But yeah, that's one of the mistakes. I'm pretty sure you guys have mistakes that you look back and like, probably not the best.
Yeah, because you could think of almost any attraction where they always say, we did it, or we couldn't have done it without you, or you saved the planet. And so like when those words come out, they're out and you can't
Oh yeah.
But,
I will say he got back at me because obviously when my daughter was born, we went back to Disney as a family and we went to the Beauty and the Beast little puppeteer show. I don't know what it's called. But growing up, I was into puppeteering. Don't laugh. It's not nerdy. Back in the 90s, it was a cool thing.
Okay? That's great.
Yeah. We did a lot of shows, but that's a whole other story. But we're at the Beauty and the Beast show, and the little Lumineer guy, the kennel guy, it was a puppet. But I'm like looking at it, I'm like, how are they making this thing? Like this looks so great. And then Danny looks over and he's like, you don't see the little arm rods, Dad? And I was like, oh. And so again, he kind of got back at me. He was older, so he laughed. We laughed it off. But
that's I did see a story recently where it was the Carousel of Progress, and that thing really hasn't progressed at all in the last.
That's a retro ride.
Regress.
Because like the now, like the nowadays section is still like ancient, but they get to one, I think it was the second or the third scene, and the guy is talking, his arms up in the air, and then it just comes off and just falls on the floor, probably terrorized. I thought this was real, but yeah.
That's when you tune your kids and say, that's what happens if you don't listen. Probably not the best parenting advice.
Darren, do you have one that jumps off the page on your?
So I have two.
Okay.
I have two. So, but they'll be real quick. One, I can honestly say I've never hit my children, ever. However, I have pinched my son in the past. So, because grandma used to do that, like that kind of thing, right? So he was acting like a child should at his age. I forget, he was about 3, and he already had his personality. Mike, Jake. So I said, listen, I'm going to have to take you out of here. I forget, we were at a wedding or we were somewhere, right? And I'm holding him, and I pinched it to try to get his attention. I'm pinching his leg a little bit while I'm holding him. He goes, hey, he's pinching me. He's pinching me. And it was like the DJ shut off, spotlights. I felt like Fred Flintstone getting this big. And I just had to, now he's not wrong. So second time, you mentioned Disney, right? So we hire a princess, a Disney princess, to come to my daughter's birthday party. Right? Jake, I was just telling a story how you ratted me out when I pinched your leg.
When you what?
When you ratted me out when I pinched your leg when you were a kid.
Which time?
What do you mean, which time?
I ratted you out a lot.
He'll write you out again.
Yes, you'll do that right now. So no. Anyway, so my wife puts together this wonderful party, right? And we just don't read the fine print as we should, I guess, And long story short, she turned out to be a wonderful, wonderful person, princess. But you can tell it was not a age-appropriate princess who showed up. I'm like, and she ended up keeping a jacket. Oh, it's cold. I'll keep my jacket on. She was wonderful when she knows it was kids, but she really was wonderful. But it was straight out of a sitcom.
That's great.
Party to remember.
Yes, and like I said, it wasn't her fault. That she just went to a job, and she was great. But yeah, read the fine print, kids. It's important.
It's important. Yes.
Yeah, could you
And
sell
with
over
that-
a Disney princess? You know, like, man, that's bro.
Yes.
Horrible.
All right. So we are going to go back to the wheel for time so we can go to the next one. Those are great stories. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big topic. I can say a lot. I just gotta make
So,
sure.
well, I guess we can go the rest of the way on this topic. So, Jordan, go ahead and share with those that may not know that live under a bridge, what you do, where you work, all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, so I'm the operating partner for the Chick-Fil-A on Malabar Road here in Palm Bay. I've been with Chick-Fil-A. Next year will be 30 years.
Oh,
So, I know I look young, and I started when I was 2, apparently. But
Yes,
it'll be 30 years, and I started just typical high school job. We had a mall unit, and you wanted to get a car, so my parents said, "Well, you got to start working, right? Get a car, pay your gas, insurance, all that." So I did that and grew up in the company and traveled for them, ran stores. I have a lot of stories with Chick-fil-A, and it's been a great company. It's been able to keep my wife to be a stay-at-home mom, and it is a great company to work for. I just don't know how much you want me to go into it, but I love really what I'm doing now is really leading a team of awesome people to run the store, and it's been a great journey. But I can tell you funny stories.
Oh.
Yeah, give me something. Yeah, tell us something funny.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is, we were serving a guest through drive-through, and it was a lady, and you can see the dog was in the passenger seat, and she got nuggets. And so we handed out the nuggets, and this is before we were outside, old school drive-through, like at the window. Right? Nowadays we have people everywhere, but so she's at the window, and we hand her the nuggets. And we say, "Oh, would you like any sauce?" And without skipping a beat, she turns to the dog and asks the dog, "Do you want any sauce?" And I thought she was joking, and she looked and waited for a response, and she goes, "No, he's good."
No.
Next level. I wasn't impressed that the dog actually said barbecue or something like that, but
Right.
but that was probably one of the funniest things I've seen, because she was dead serious. She was not joking at all. Yeah,
you can't possibly keep a straight face if you're Oh my
no.
goodness.
And nowadays, man, guests come up and do funny stuff all the time, and I think Chick-fil-A, that was actually before Chick-fil-A was huge, and now people know about it, so they come in expecting that good rapport and that fun time. So we have a lot of fun guests that come, and they give us the name like SpongeBob SquarePants or Batman, so when we have to yell out their order like Batman, and there's people like, "I'm here," all right, cool, we have fun with them. It's fun. It's fun.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. Now I have to ask, so going back in time to I think it was 2018, I believe. Is that
oh my goodness, wow. Yeah. Look at that young man with no beard. That was before we got to wear beard.
Yep. So that was a big.
Someone gave me some details here, some pictures. So that's that other gentleman in the picture. That's Scott Washburn. He owns the restaurants here in Palm Bay. So he's the operator. And he's a great man of God, and he cares for his people. And so his thing is, when you work for him every 10 years, he sends you on a cruise. So that one was probably my 20th anniversary. So he was sending me and my wife on a cruise, and so as a little giveaway. And it's weird to call him a boss. It's more of a friend at this point. I mean, he's been there for my wedding. He's come to visit all the births of our kids in the hospital, and he always brings a signature giant balloon that's huge, and he loves it, because then we're like, now what do we do with it? But he loves it. I mean, he's a great guy. He's been, he was out of town for our son's wedding, but he was there in spirit. He just loves it, and so it's really a great friend right now. Yeah,
that's awesome. Maybe see Joe in the chat is with us. Joe is just about to go on vacation to Gatlinburg, I believe, in Tennessee, so that'll be awesome time away. And then you probably know them pretty well. Look like Suki and Louie Bonilla are in the chat as well.
They look
So,
familiar.
Yeah,
Sounds like my parents. Yeah.
Barbecue.
With
Barbecue, yeah.
with Chick-fil-A, the two things I will share that's kind of funny on my end. So I remember it. I don't always make the connections on things that should be obvious right away. So I remember, I think it was the 14th time that someone said "my pleasure," and I was like, okay, that person was nice. Oh, that another nice person. They have really nice people that work there. And I think the 14th time I realized that that's something that everybody says.
Yeah, that's our signature
regardless of what
tagline.
you're asking. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there was
now
that.
other places are doing it, which is fine. Imitation is the best form of flattery. You know.
I agree. And then I remember the time I just ordered, like, sometimes you'll order like a big meal and you'll get like one or two sauces or whatever, but I don't know who it was, where it wasn't even local. I think this was, I want to say this was like across the state somewhere. But I remember just ordering like one chicken sandwich and I got like 11 Chick-fil-A sauces. I was just like, score. I don't know why they gave me so many on a small order. But
I had
true story. I haven't had the Chick-fil-A sauce until like 6 months ago. I don't know what I was missing out on, but never. And we recently went on the church. We had our, I think it was on this past Tuesday. Actually, we had a conference in Melbourne, and we had Chick-fil-A for breakfast and for lunch. So they really hooked us up that day. So that was cool.
Yeah, we love to be part of the community. That's for sure.
You guys are great. I mean, I'm going to tell. I was going to tell two, but you just triggered a third one, and it deals with sports in a way. But here's the thing: I never had Chick-fil-A until I went to Atlanta, and had Chick-fil-A there, and absolutely fell in love with it. And then lived in California for 16 years and had a lot of it there. There are two fast food places for me that I don't care how long the line is, it's going to move quick, because you mentioned it. You have people everywhere, and they're not rushing you through. You don't feel rushed as they're moving. And when you're on that line moves. It's just, and the food is hot and it's fresh. I'm just talking about for myself, right? And Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out, and then there's everything else.
Yeah, because you could easily judge a book by its cover. Like, you could easily look at a Chick-fil-A line and go, no, I'm out. Wendy's is right there. Arby's has never got anyone in the drive-thru. Taco Bell's right there. Panda Express is probably going to, not have what you want, but you can go there. But you'd still go to Chick-fil-A because it doesn't matter how long the line is. You're going to be in and out in 10 minutes or less.
Yeah.
You can go to Burger King and order like one small fry, and it's like mission impossible to get your meal.
You're not kidding.
I'm glad you guys are saying it, not me. That way I can stay neutral. But yes,
it's all true. And I mentioned the third one is talking about community outreach. So I, for many years, covered the Fresno Grizzlies, which are the minor league baseball team out of Fresno. They were the AAA farm team for the Washington Nationals, the San Francisco Giants, and the Houston Astros. They're single A now. And I bring all that up because in the press room, and listen, they feed us for free. It's wonderful when we cover the games. Chick-fil-A. And it's so funny. I'm like, who are these people? Because for Chick-fil-A, they do once a week, which was amazing. And like, you'd have one of these other things, and there'd be nobody in there but us regulars. But when it was Chick-fil-A night, boy, who are these people who bring their family?
They bring their family. Yeah, they bring their. And shout out to Joe. He said he's alone in a cabin in the woods in Tennessee, just me and the bears here. So, Well, there you go.
There you go. There he is.
There he is.
There's a pal.
So we always have our friend Paddington at least makes 1 or 2 appearances per episode. Why? I have no idea. It was just something we started.
I just love him.
He just shows up at the best times. So, all right, we got to get back to that wheel. We're already over halfway through. That's crazy. So, go back to that wheel.
And we can't leave tonight, by the way. I have to ask you 1 or 2 puppetry questions. I'm serious.
Poetry?
I love it. Big money.
Oh, okay. I'm glad this one came up because you know, I feel like I'm in the small minority that know about this cartoon. This is an old 80s cartoon. It's not the Jim Carrey mask one, although that was fun too. But have you two ever seen that cartoon Mask? M-A-S-K? And it was
I have
just
not. Somehow that has slipped through the cracks.
see,
this is
not
great. I
many-
want to
hopefully
know. Teach me.
Yes, hopefully people in the chat can say, yeah, I've seen it. See if you can Google a picture of it. I mean, but really what it was a cartoon of crime fighters, and they all had helmets, and each one, I think that helmets can levitate things, but it was almost a mix of Transformers and crime fighters because they would all the one would jump in a car and it would do the Lamborghini door, things, or like the side wings, and it would fly, and a motorcycle would come and turn into a helicopter, and it was just kind of like a mix of G.I. Joe, with the flying car. Yeah, the red flying car. Yeah.
Oh, and our resident soupy says Matt Tracker. Okay. Is that is he a character in there? I don't know.
I believe so. It's been so long since I've watched it, obviously, but I thought I was alone in this. I was like, no, this was a great cartoon, and they actually had action figures and all that, but it's one of those small gems that not many people know about.
So I got a thing I got this here for. Let's see, I think this is our Matt Tracker. I believe this is a little photo.
Mobile Armed Strike Command. Mobile Armed Strike Command mask.
That's makes sense.
Matt Tracker was the lead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure YouTube. Maybe I can go to YouTube and find videos and rewatch it. I mean, but also rewatching cartoons as an adult, it takes a little bit. They got to be in that mood.
Yeah,
but it was a good cartoon.
You got and it's one of those because there's some cartoons that or things like that where you swear by it and then you put it on and you're like, oh my goodness. Like for me, it was Howard the Duck. I was swore by it and then they put it on. I'm like, what in the world? But then you go to like Alf or Fraggle Rock or whatever, and it's just as good now, as it was back then. But
Alf was great.
Yeah, it was before its time, like 100%.
Yeah, it really was.
So I'll have to look up. I'm surprised you got a show past me that I never heard of. So I'll have to take a look into that, put that on my list. But thank you, Mark.
People knew it. Yeah, Mark, man, he knew that.
And it was right on it. And so, Mark, we are spinning the wheel of randomness. We're about to spin it again. So whatever it lands on, we're going to have a nice little conversation about it. So let's spin that wheel. Here we go.
Yeah. As it's spinning, I'm not in the chat just because I forgot my password for my YouTube. So I'm seeing everyone, but I tried. I just didn't. It didn't save on my phone. Oh my Lord! So, do you have a picture of this? Is there a picture coming out for this? You have a picture for this one, don't you?
No, I do not. I did not.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not going to do that. I want you to come back on the podcast in the future.
No, it's funny. I mean, my wife probably won't think it's funny, although it's funny now.
So this is a special request by someone who we will not name. It's not your wife.
I already know who
asked about this story, so we had to put it on the wheel of names. Darren, let us know what you think about this story. I've heard it, but I want to hear it from Jordan. So. And Crystal is with us in the chat as well. Crystal, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Appreciate it.
I know my wife is watching, so Leanne, if you can find a picture real quick, that's fine. She's in the other room. But so a buddy of mine, we'll just call this guy Edwin.
Right. Just for
random. His parents used to own a dry cleaning business, and after months of people not picking up clothes, I think it was 6 months, pretty much they own the clothes at that point. Like they give it away and things like that. So I got a lot of good clothes from because that was fun back in the day. And there was this bright yellow suit that it was like a yellow mustardy suit that the guy was my build and he didn't pick up his clothes. And so Edwin was like, here you go. And I was like, man, this is so cool. Now you got to remember this was late 90s, 98, the mask, all the bright color. So I get it. And my wife and I, Leanne, went to go take some pictures at, I think it was Sears.
Sears, yeah.
I wore this bright yellow suit and she did not like it. But we were already there. We took pictures. But then from then on out, I wore that bright yellow suit wherever because I thought I was so cool. I mean, I probably have pictures on my phone that like
you wore your trip, man. It looked good. It looked good. You wore your trip.
You owned it. That's all that matters. You owned the suit. That's all. Yeah, you gave it 100%. So, and when was this? Like when was the suit birthed? When was this? Would you say approximately?
Oh, we lost the sound.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's working on sound. Okay. Well, we can't put it in the comments that he can't hear us. So, Leanne, if you're watching.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So
I think that's great.
You can make that
when
work.
when you gave your Hall of Fame speech, what did you say?
we got to get his audio back though. That's the only thing. Yes. His audio went away.
So it's
there
bad. I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. We started using it for when we did kids church. We were using it for like skits and stuff, and then it kind of just disappeared.
Well, think about this: the Savannah Bananas. That's what the guy wears, a yellow suit.
I think I was ahead of my time. Can you guys still hear me? Or no?
Now we can.
Yeah, we couldn't for a minute, but then it came back. So we're good.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That is absolutely great. I love that.
You know, it's funny on my end. It almost looks orange. I think we have another shot of that right there.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know where these photos are coming from. I don't know what's going on.
It's weird. And then you see my smile. I'm like Chandler on Friends. I cannot smile on cue. Like, just know that. Like whenever you see a picture of me, it has to be candid. I'm a great candid. I can smile, but on cue, I'm like.
Once they say get ready for the pose, it's a thing. It's a real thing, folks. It's not just this. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm sad that you still don't have the suit, but hopefully it'll make a comeback someday. One more time. Maybe. It is a classic. Yes, Crystal, it is a classic. So let's go ahead and we're gonna spin that wheel.
So while that's spinning, real quick, I was gonna say you had Mask. My show life Mask was Space Battleship Yamamoto. It was about a destroyer, a ship in space. It just was this great show. Why it was a ship in space, I don't know. Odd people during cruises. This will be fun.
Okay, so I'll start this one. There's got to always be like, because you don't, when you're on a cruise, you're not like judging others if they're living their best life. Like we know that. Like they're living their best life. We're not judging what they're doing. But there's always characters. There's always, people you kind of want to stay away from. And there's some that you would probably never in any other scenario ever get along with, but you're on a cruise and, whatever. I remember one of the first ones I went on I think it was called Bahama Paradise at the time. And somehow it started out as a karaoke and not many of the people were very good, but it's okay. They think they're, Diana Ross when they're singing on the cruise. So I remember somehow it got into like this Latin song came on and then it turned into like a 3-hour salsa party. Like, I don't know what happened, but it just didn't go back. Like, I think they just took over all the songs. And so we still had a good time, that kind of thing. But I love listening to people of all, like, because a lot of times you go to a karaoke place and everyone's good, right? So like on a cruise, like it's kind of fun to see people that are not so good think they're great and just have a good 100%. Time.
I'd rather you not be good at karaoke because then now it's like everyone who wants to do it, like I gotta follow Whitney Houston now. Like they actually sing. Like I'd rather have someone, and that's what makes it more fun.
100%.
Yeah, I did a karaoke song. This was years ago. One of our first cruises, a good friend of mine, Darren, not you, but hey, nice to meet you. But Darren and Ashley, they took us on a cruise, and I was like, I'm gonna do a karaoke song, and I did "Living on a Prayer," and I can't sing. It never stops me. Like I don't care. Even at work, I tell people when I onboard people, I say, look, guys, I can't sing, and I know it. I'm still gonna have fun. And I'm still going to sing. But I had to Living on a Prayer. And it felt good because nobody else was good at that time. So, like, in that room. Yeah. So, I love that.
Yep. And Soup Beat says Bon Jovi is his go-to for karaoke.
Yeah,
so, yep. Simple. Simple. Darren, you got your any? I know we mentioned cruise here, but what's your karaoke song?
My karaoke song is "Devil with the Blue Dress On," or a song by Shooter Jennings called "4th of July."
Okay, and Crystal says "Holiday Madonna" is do you ever have that song though that it's your song, right? You're excited to be up there, you think you're gonna rock it, and then they put the wrong version on, and it's too late.
Yes.
Like for example, I love Boyz II Men. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday, or till the end of the road, and like I'm used to the 1990s version, not the 1964 version, and man, I butchered that one all over the place. Like I wasn't even close. I was singing before and after the lines. It was bad, but that's all they had, so I had to. I wish I would have known that going into it.
Yeah. What's your thought on like real slow songs for karaoke? Because I feel like okay, Boyz II Men, like you said, that's a great one. But like, there's some people that choose songs that nobody's ever heard. Like, or not nobody, but like the majority of the crowd's like, what song?
Yeah, what is that? What is this song? Yeah.
Yeah, and it brings the crowd down. Like Boyz II Men, obviously, people, but
I think my only standard is if it's a slow song, as long as people know it, go for it. I think there's something about people being goofy, like Sweet Caroline's not really slow, but Sweet Caroline is classic because everyone knows it. But if you put on, the barn turned red, no one's gonna know what you're talking about, and then it's just you up there, and no one else is enjoying it as much. So, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, any other last cruise, any oddities or things you want to share from recent cruises? Anything that's stood out? I mean, I know you went on the Alaska cruise recently, so probably pretty different crowd than the
It is, yeah. I would say
unpack that for me, seriously.
Yeah,
as a generalization, the Caribbean crowd compared to the Alaskan crowd, what's the big difference?
Yeah, 100%. When people come to Port Canaveral on this side, you're going sun and fun and partying, and we went to Alaska. They still have all the partying and all that, but it was just a more chill crowd. Even the last night of the Alaska cruise, they're like, oh, let's have a going away dance party, and we're like, all right, well, let's go and we went to, or it was like one of the dance clubs, whatever, and we went, and there was like 6 people in there, and we're like, this is the last night, and nobody's like dancing and partying. I mean, they still had good entertainment and things like that, but it's definitely a different crowd. I didn't mind it, because I'm pretty. When I go on a cruise, I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill and enjoy it. I mean, obviously excursions, but
I know we have other topics we're gonna get to, but I have to ask because I always go and I'm like, I'm gonna do less this time. I know it's about relaxing, but then I'm like, I can't miss this show though. But okay, we'll lay down all day, but we got to go to this restaurant, or we got to go here. Like I have the FOMO, the fear of missing out, really bad. Was there anyone on your crew when you recently went that was like were they all pretty chill, or was there, and without naming names, was there someone that like had to see everything, or was it kind of a little bit of both?
No, I think it was a good mix this time. I mean, because we knew it was the Alaska, like we wanted to see most of the scenery outside. Yeah. There were shows we went to do, and we had a plan. But if we didn't get to some, we're like, okay, not a big deal.
Playing funeral songs. That's
at the going away party. The first song it was supposed to be like a hype thing, and it was "It's been a long day," like it's a long time. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, so it was a different weird kind of vibe.
Well, I say this without casting any dispersions to these wonderful people who do this, whether you're on a cruise or at a resort or someplace, and it could be male, female, whatever. It's 6:01 in the morning. And you're running out claiming chairs like these people. Yeah. Like,
we didn't see that though, but yeah.
What are you doing? Well, no, and then you got to hear about their analysis of how they did it. I saved you that chair.
I want to know. Yeah, and I want to know too the ninjas, and I mean ninjas that clean the rooms, okay? Because like you can go down to fill your ice bucket at 9:35 p.m.
It's true.
They'll come out of the air vent and get into your room, make a swan on your bed of towels,
Right. Yes.
somehow remove all your dirty
They
clothes.
do the
make
Mission
bed.
Impossible,
Yes, exactly.
Like, I mean, they have to be off at some point, but they're always ready. Like they're just there, and you never see them. Like they're just in and out without trace, as Splinter would say with TMNT. But so
No, I love it. In the hospitality business, the same thing. Like people, they work hard, and sometimes they don't get their dues. But they're great. They're great.
Oh, they're wonderful.
And we're gonna go ahead and spin that wheel probably two more times. We've got about 10 minutes left. But once again, just want to give one more quick shout out to our folks over at Nashville Tax Solutions, Christopher Bennett and his team. Thank you so much for believing us from the very beginning. We had under 100 subscribers, and you locked arms with us early on. And we are now just a few shy of 3,300 subscribers. So we just want to say thank you. We appreciate you. That's awesome for just about 17 months doing this. That is a fantastic achievement. And we just couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much, Christopher Bennett and team. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and spin that wheel 2 final times. Here we go. All right, and because of time, what we'll do here is we'll tackle the Inspector Gadget and Teenage Ninja Turtles. We'll knock them both out just because they're kind of So let me do this here. Okay, so Jordan, what is your and Joe? I see back in the so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What were you a fan from? Like I missed the original movies. Like nothing beats 1 and 2. 3, they went on a weird side quest. I don't know what happened in 3, but are you a big fan of the original 2 the most?
I grew up on that. I think the biggest one of the not a regret. I was a younger kid, but like I always wanted a Ninja Turtle toy. Sure. And, I wanted the van that shot the the sewer stuff, but I didn't get to do that. But no, I loved the cartoon, and then when the movies came out, I mean, it was great. Yeah, Vanilla Ice in there. Go Ninja, go. It was just a different time. Like obviously because we grew up on that, and it was something new. Obviously G.I. Joe I was a huge fan of, but the Ninja Turtles that was it. And then my calf muscles are pretty big, and so my friends say that I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle calves. I'm not going to show them. That's a different style podcast. But, no, but
around the ballpark after dark. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, it was a great show. Same with Inspector Gadget. We'll tackle those too. Just that intro line, that part. Like I can remember just sitting and watching the cartoon and just enjoying it, even though you knew it was the same thing every episode.
Every time. Next time Gadget met, not next time.
Next time, like the claw. Yeah, it just my dad used to, would do that voice. It was just a good time. Yeah, so I love those topics because it brings you back, the nostalgia of it.
It does. And with the Ninja Turtles, I got to see them at Radio City Music Hall of all places. And,
wow.
That was interesting, say the least. We got a little turtle party pack and all that good stuff. But I love playing the arcade game. Like it was like a million foot soldiers you have to beat to get to the end, but it was okay. Your fingers would be just like you have like nubbins by the time you're done playing.
Yes.
So for the final one, because we got just about 7 minutes left. So Darren, I'm going to allow you, without even spinning the wheel, I'm going to put this up here. Let's Darren's choice. So if you can see there, I'll read the options. We got The Office, Willy Wonka, Three Amigos, Getting Older, Bruce, Boating Stories, Special Island, Bedtime in 2025. I'll go ahead and take Halloween and Thanksgiving off because we've actually had a recent podcast about those. So special fixer-upper projects and Back to the Future. So this is Darren's choice.
I'm going to surprise you all, and I'm going to say Willy Wonka.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And I know, Jordan, as you take it away, I know it's a specific Willy Wonka, not just any Willy Wonka, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, who is your Willy Wonka and why?
My Willy Wonka is the Gene Wilder version.
Me too. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, Mike would ask me like, oh, what's one of your favorite movies growing up, and I was like, man, it was Willy Wonka, and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. Just as any kid wants to be, in that chocolate factory eating everything. Sure. It was just one of those movies that it's timeless. You don't need a lot of special effects. I mean, even just watching it now, like with my kids and everything, that they can still watch it now and they enjoy it. They don't need all the flash and all that. Although it's fun to watch, but it hit me. And then that song, the oh my goodness, Imagination. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Imagination.
Yeah. It is my favorite movie. I just can't remember why but I would sing that song to my kids growing. Like, I mean, I'm not a singer, but as their babies, I would just, if you want to view paradise, like I would start singing to that. And in my head, I thought I was putting them to sleep. It probably didn't work. But yeah, Gene Wilder, and then they came out with the other one. Not a fan of the
Johnny Depp one. No good.
Johnny Depp one. Tim Burton, amazing, but not a fan of that one. We watched it, and my kids love that one, and they like that one too. But it didn't sit well. Now I will give a little bit of credit to the new Wonka movie. I guess that was supposed to be
with Timothy Chalamet. Yep.
Yeah. Watch that one. I can appreciate that one because it kind of did the prequel to the Gene Wilder one.
That's exactly it. I was able to get comfortable with that one. I'm sorry to cut you off there because it sort of was a different story, different time. So it was a prequel, and that's okay. The Johnny Depp one was creepy.
Yeah, it was. And with the newer one, they at least showed they paid some respect to it, right? They had the the song in the beginning. I mean, we watched it in theaters. The hairs were standing up when I heard the ding, ding. I'm like, yeah, it was great. It was great.
And we have a just in the chat we have Leanne that cannot stand part of the burping scene, and then we have Crystal that loves the burping scene. But I was going to ask you about the game. I was asking.
Yeah. Okay. So Dakota, Dakota and Mike. So a couple of years ago, he for Christmas he bought this Willy Wonka game, and it's a board game. And my thought is any board game based off a movie is not really like going to be that great. It's going to be kind of cheesy. But we're like, we busted out one thing. We're like, let's play it. Man, it is a fun game because you get like 50 little chocolate bars. So if there's 4 players, you got to hide 3 golden tickets in it. And then the whole game is buying chocolate bars, but you don't open them up until the end. So it's a little reverse because there's no winners. Really, the winner is the loser, the guy who does not get a chocolate bar. And so it's pretty fun. And you don't know. And so you can buy like 50, buy 30 of the chocolate bars and still lose the game.
So Dakota found this game?
Yeah, it's when he worked at Target. So it's a great game. It has the Gene Wilder version in it, like that style, Veruca Salt and all that. It's a fun game. It's a fun family game for all ages. So yeah, it's a great time. And again, I'll say a real quick story about that. We played it on Mother's Day because we're like, oh, all right, we'll play a game. And my wife, we were playing with my kids, and Leanne lost twice on Mother's Day. And it's funny because we write the names in the book of who lost, and it's like Mother's Day, Leanne. Yeah, but it's a good game. Yeah,
it's a good game, and because you can't see the comments, we were asked that whose name goes in the box.
Yeah, those who do not get a golden ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do not get a golden ticket.
So if they don't get a golden ticket, their name gets in the box.
I would absolutely love to play.
You lose, you get nothing.
Yeah, we definitely have to make arrangements for that because to play that because that sounds fantastic. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I do. So we have 3 minutes left. So I will get to choose. You lose, you get nothing. So I will choose the last one because we still have 3 minutes. So, so looking at the wheel here. I'm going to go looking at what is here. I would like to know what's Bruce is just calling out to me. I don't know why, but Bruce. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and with you're okay, we'll take whatever's left and maybe like early January, we'll have like a kickoff the year, have you back on if you're good with that. And we'll kind of tackle the rest of it.
I love that.
Fun. But so I got to know about my boy, Bruce. What's up with Bruce?
Okay. So let me. I love Marvel movies and all that, and my character I always loved was the Incredible Hulk. So Bruce Banner, Incredible Hulk. So just know that. Man, 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years, I don't even know how long ago now. I developed a hernia, like in my stomach. Went to the doctor. He was checking it out, and he goes, "No, I can't remember what type of hernia it was, but what it does is it creates, like, if I flex my stomach, I'm not going to do that because again, that's around the ballpark after dark. But if I flex my stomach, my stomach doesn't do the typical, like if I had six packs, it wouldn't do the typical six pack. It goes like this. It points out. And so when I went to the doctor, I said, "Doc, is this something that I need to be concerned about?" And he checked it out. He goes, "No." He goes, "You have two options." He goes, "You can have a surgery, but it really doesn't help, or you can name it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I came home and told my wife those were the doctor's opinion: have surgery or name it. So I said, "Well, I'm going to name it Bruce." Kind of reverse Incredible Hulk, but like saying, like, so whenever she hates it, by the way. But if I put my stomach out, you can see it through my shirt. It pokes out a little bit, like just a little bit. And I go, "Oh, Bruce is coming," and she hates it. She hates it. I don't know why, as husbands, we do stuff to bother our wives. I mean, it's out of love, but and then so now friends see it, and I'm like, "It's Bruce." Yeah.
Bruce is getting a ton of love in the chat. A lot of Bruce fans here. I think when you say that, all I can think about is the Seinfeld episode where Jerry's dating the girl with her belly button or makes this special noise. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. He doesn't talk.
La la la.
Yeah. Sometimes when I give my wife a hug, I'll flex Bruce out, and she goes, "Stop it." She's like, "Get away from me." I'm like, "Okay, probably not the best thing to do."
No.
We have fun with it.
Oh, that's great. Well, as I knew it would, this hour flew by. So went on everybody's time. So thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have you back on early January. We'll share some. Sure, we'll have
This
some
is great
on there, but so much fun.
Oh yeah, Christmas stories I can go on forever. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we didn't even get to the office and so we've got plenty of material for part 2. But shout out to Jason and Soup Beat and Crystal and Sports Fan Leanne and Joe and so many others that were on with us as well. Mark and Rob. So thank you for making us a part of your Sunday evening. We will be live back again this coming Thursday for the podcast. So definitely check that out. And until then, guys, thank you so much. Shout out to Nashville Tax Solutions. But until next time, myself and Darren will see you around the ballpark.